Hello everyone, I am Sahana Prasad from Department of Commerce, Gopalswamy PU College, Mysore. In this video, let's go through the syllabus of 2nd PUC Business Studies. Business Studies is divided into two parts, Part 1 and Part 2. Part 1 is Principles and Functions of Management. Part 2 is Business Finance and Marketing. Now let us see what are the chapters included in Part 1, that is Principles and Functions of Management. First chapter is Nature and Significance of Management. Nature and Significance of Management. This chapter gives you the idea about the concept of management. That is, what is management? Management is an art of getting things done through others. In this chapter, we also see the features of management, importance of management, and objectives of management, functions of management, levels of management, and you also have management as an art, science and profession. And another important topic which is covered in this chapter is coordination. In this chapter about coordination, you have meaning, its importance and features. So the total marks allotted to this chapter in the exam is 11 marks. Second chapter is Principles of Management. This chapter gives you the meaning of principles of management and its importance, significance, nature, and we can also see in this chapter F.W. Taylor's scientific management and various techniques which he has given, like time study, motion study, fatigue study, etc. And another important person's principles of management is Henry Fayol's principles of management. He has contributed 14 principles like division of labor, unity of command, unity of direction, esprit de corps. Like that you have 14 principles. So this chapter is quite important, principles of management. So the total marks allotted to this chapter in the exam is 9 marks. Now let us see third chapter. Third chapter is Business Environment. Business environment is the sum total of all the external factors which affects the business, like political factors, legal factors, social factors, cultural factors and economic factors. So in this chapter we study features of business environment, importance, dimensions of business environment. We also learn about liberalization, privatization, globalization and also about demonetization and its impact. So the total marks allotted to this chapter is 5 marks. Chapter 4 is Planning. So what is planning? Planning is deciding in advance the future course of action. So in this chapter we learn meaning, its importance, planning, process and types of plans. Types of plans, you have policies, rules, budgets, objectives, strategies. So these are the various types of plans we learn. Planning is quite an important chapter because it is the first function of management. So total marks allotted to this chapter is 7. Fifth chapter is Organizing. Organizing is assigning the task to the employees. That is, how the task should be done, how it should be done, who will do it and when it should be done. So in organizing we learn about its importance, elements and organization structure, that is functional structure, divisional structure, and we also learn about the types of organization, that is formal organization and informal organization. Another 2 topics which is covered in this chapter are delegation and decentralization. So the total marks allotted to this chapter is 11 marks. Next is staffing. So what is staffing? Staffing is selecting the right people or the right person for the right job. In planning, there are various topics like recruitment, how recruitment is done, and selection. Selection means how various types of interviews are conducted, what are the tests which usually companies conduct to recruit the employees, selection process, placement, training, orientation. In training, you have again types of training, that is on the job training and off the job training. Staffing is considered as one of the most important function because staffing here means employees, human resource. Human resource is considered as one of the most important assets of the organization. So the total marks allotted to staffing is 15. Next, chapter 7 is directing. Here, directing means supervising the employees. There are 4 important topics which are covered in directing, that is supervision, motivation. In motivation, again we study about Maslow's hierarchical needs. Then you have leadership. In leadership, you have different styles of leadership like autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire. And communication. Communication is quite essential in the organization. We learn about how if in effective way we can communicate and what are the barriers that we usually face in the organization. So those are the topics which comes under directing. So the total marks allotted for directing is 11 marks. Chapter 8 is controlling. See, controlling means there are various tasks and activities that should be performed in the organization in order to achieve the organizational goals. So we have to make sure that all the activities which takes place every day, we have to check whether it is taking place according to plan. Suppose if there is any deviation, immediate measure must be taken. So that is controlling. In this chapter, we learn the meaning of controlling, importance and controlling process. So the total marks allotted for controlling is 7 marks. So these are the 8 chapters which comes in part 1, that is principles and functions of management. Now let us see what are the chapters which are included in part 2, that is business, finance and marketing. So chapter 9 is financial management. Financial management chapters gives us an idea how finance is managed and how financial planning is made and how financial decisions are taken. And also in this chapter we learn about fixed capital requirements and working capital requirements. So total marks allotted to this chapter is 11 marks. Next chapter is financial markets. Financial market chapter gives you the idea about money market, capital market, and you have primary market, secondary market, and also about stock exchange, and you have SEBI, that is Security Exchange Board of India. So these are the topics which are covered in financial market. So the total marks allotted to this chapter is 11 marks. 11th chapter, that is one of the most important chapter, is marketing. Marketing gives you the idea about the various functions of marketing. You have the meaning of marketing, functions, and marketing mix, that is product, price, promotion and place. Here product means we see how a product is being manufactured, and branding, labeling, packaging, and in pricing we see what are the factors which affect the pricing, and then again place, how the products are distributed, and in promotion we see advertising, personal selling, sales promotion and publicity. We study all these topics in the chapter marketing. Marketing is a very huge chapter and it is quite important also for the examination. So the total marks allotted to this chapter is 19 marks. Last chapter is consumer protection. In this chapter, we learn who is a consumer and what are the responsibilities and rights of the consumer, and we also learn about the Consumer Protection Act 1986 and what are the redressal and grievance agencies which comes under consumer protection. So the total marks allotted to this chapter is 7 marks. So these are the 4 chapters which comes under business, finance and marketing. So basically in syllabus of business studies there are 2 parts, 8 chapters which comes under part 1 and 4 chapter which comes in part 2. Now let us see the question paper pattern. Now let's see the question paper pattern of second PUC business studies. So the total duration to write the exam is 3 hours 15 minutes and the total marks allotted is 100. So there are 5 sections A, B, C, D and E. In section A, 12 questions will be given, out of which you have to answer any 10. Each question carries 1 mark, so the total marks in section A comes to 10. In section B, again 12 questions will be given, out of which you have to answer any 10. Each question in section B carries 2 marks, so total marks in section B comes to 20. In section C, section C is basically a 4 marks question. 10 questions will be given, out of which you have to answer any 7. Each question carries 4 marks, so it comes to 28. Section D is 8 marks question. 8 marks question, 6 questions will be given, out of which you have to answer any 4. Each question carries 8 marks, so 8 4s are 32. Section E is basically practical oriented questions. 3 questions will be given, out of which you have to answer any 2. So each question carries 5 marks, so 5 2s are 10. So total comes to 100. So this is the question paper pattern of second PUC business studies. Thank you.